Welcome to Earth. In this lifetime, you will learn the truth.
Hi guys, it's Starseed Mentality, back at you again with another video, okay? And today, I'm going to be picking up right where I left off on my China and Africa relations video, okay? Where we're going to talk about something that I kind of missed out to say when it comes to the critical race theory, all right, is what kept Black Wall Street going, okay? What added and abetted the poverty, the increase in poverty in the Black community. Okay, so let me explain. So on top of the fact that our industries kept getting destroyed by government organizations, taking down our greatness, outside of the fact that they kept targeting Black leaders that were being supported by Black family households, okay? Another key factor that was aiding our poverty increase was the fact that desegregation not only made us follow a white rule, okay, or it was institutionalized by white people, so it was under their control on what the teachers can teach or what is, what is right and what is wrong, okay? This is where we get in school where at that particular time, African people were not being taught their side of American history. They were being taught to glorify slavery, glorify their own oppression, okay? Okay? Because of that, Black people no longer had their own school institutions where they were teaching their kids home economics, and they were teaching their children home economics and vocations, okay? Now, I wrote an essay in my political science course as a part of my test, explaining how, because of, it was a question about, why people below the poverty line don't feel as if they're a part of society, or they don't really feel like they can vote and participate in the American democracy, okay? And I had to explain to him, as African Americans, they put us in poverty when they are, and I don't know if you guys know anything about W.E.B. Du Bois and what's the other guy? Let me look him up. Hold on. Booker T. Washington, okay? W.E.B. Du Bois was promoting vocation in the schools. He was promoting home economics, that African Americans graduate with skills so they can be working people in society, okay? And then obviously you had Booker T. Washington, who was promoting HBCUs, Black universities, Black people being able to compete academically with critical thinking skills, being able to read, write, be college educated, okay? And in the 1960s, during the desegregation period, white society was taking more, and look, I'm not gonna say no names, but one was working more for the government than the other party was, meaning that this was all an agenda, okay? Hold on. Let me show proof. Hold on. So again, okay, just like Martin Luther King, They gonna use Booker T. Washington for whatever they needed Booker T. Washington for. Like the book, The Invisible Man. Please go read that book. I read it in my AP literature class when I was in high school. I think I was a junior in high school. And it was talking about how white liberals, like, who are the Roosevelts? The Roosevelts, okay, run the world, okay. Freemasons, okay, that's how they become the president, okay. Don't be acting clueless. I know it's history, but we tell the whole story over here, okay. White liberals gonna use him what they were gonna use Booker T. Washington for. And they sitting up there with like, well, we own all the HBCUs. The black folks don't own no HBCUs. We putting our money in as sponsors and investors to put in our curriculum to make them increase in poverty. They say, well, Booker T. Washington, I'm sorry, not Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois was promoting black wealth. He was promoting too much black wealthiness. So they had to use Booker T. Washington's rhetoric to spread the notion, that African students can be lawyers, doctors, and on top of which be spending a whole shit ton of money to be put in debt. So they won't be graduating high school and getting married right after high school, having families and being homeowners, landowners, and working people in society and being able to reach middle class. Okay? So this pretty much concludes this video on what else was aiding the increase in black poverty. What kept Black Wall Street going? Home economics and vocations in the school, making sure our young men would graduate high school with skills so they can get a job right away as soon as they graduate the high school, so they won't be out here on the street getting fast money, being drug dealers. Ain't it something? They got it all planned out against y'all. This ties back into my other video with China and Africa, as far as how African people started mimicking what white people do, as far as making their own businesses, making their own restaurants. But when we get our reparations, and even if we don't, motherfucker, we don't need them reparations to rebuild no Black Wall Street. We need our own nail salons. We need our own beauty supply stores. We need some soul food restaurants promoting our food, our cultural food. Asian people got Asian food. Mexican people got Mexican food. Jamaicans got Caribbean food. What do FBAs got to show their cultural foods to the world? So we need that. And some more. We need to be owning them gas stations, okay? The Arabs got the gas stations. We need our own gas stations, okay? We need all of that back in our own neighborhoods. And before I forget, reparations or no reparations, but we do need our reparations, though. Don't get me wrong. All right. We need to bring back home economics back in our school systems, and we need to bring vocations back into our school systems, in addition to promoting the Booker T. Washington point of view of showing our children that yes, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a journalist, a teacher, whatever academically you want to be. That's true. But they need to have additional courses for students who don't want to go to college, who can't afford a 4-year university. Tying that back to my essay that I did in my class, okay, I was explaining to him that as Black voters, okay, the society that we have, or the representation that we have as FBAs, is that way on purpose. It's that way on purpose because like we stated in the class, you know, people below the poverty line, they often don't have the transportation to go vote. They suffer from disabilities, so they can't vote, or they suffer from a lack of information in their communities about where to go vote. The Black community was suffering from a lot of issues, like the election polling place they're always excessively asking for IDs, and that turns people away from the polling place, or they're always at the wrong ward or district, and that turns people from the voting place. And as somebody who was a poll worker, I even seen we are the only community that suffers, unlike white voters, right? We are the only community that suffers from floods. Like our voting booths are crowded, and sometimes that takes up a lot of time, and that turns us away from voting. And I had to tell my professor, I'm like, they're doing it all on purpose so the representation can only be for white Americans. They don't want FBAs in the government. And you can't have no FBAs in the government because FBAs can't vote. Most FBAs are in poverty. And they're in poverty because of the systemic systems that you set up for us. So now we below the poverty line and don't have no information to go vote, don't know where to go vote, etc., etc., etc. It's all rather a loop to keep you from having influence over this government. And let me repeat this. The Black people that look like you, that are in these positions of power, are not put there just on their own or because of their greatness. They are put in these certain positions of power because they were chosen by the higher ups to go forward with their agenda. You know this because anybody that don't go with the agenda, they kill them. They assassinate them. They pretend they act crazy like they don't know. And we know it was you because we not stupid. All your Obamas, Kamalas, all of them. MLKs, all of them. Booker T. Washingtons, all of them. All of them were paraded around by that white liberal for their agenda. And their agenda alone. It has nothing to do with you. It's what you call it, it's what Malcolm X said. You know, they would try to act like your friend. They would parade around like your friend, okay? And this is in the Invisible Man book, how they will use white faces they will use Black faces to gain support of the public. But secretly, it's just to benefit them, to gain the Black vote, or for whatever it is. It's just for white liberals to parade around and puppeteer the idea that they are with the times, that they are about diversity, that they are about inclusion, but they are cherry picking certain Black people to be the face of their agenda. for their white supremacist agenda. It has nothing to do with moving and pushing anything forward for the Black community. And with that being said, happy Black History Month. I love y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video to stay updated on my content. And with that being said, I love y'all. Patah. Peace.